So my name's William Hoover. I'm a member of the science department. I teach anatomy and physiology. I'm sort of the champion for digital learning within our department. I onboard all new adjuncts that are being hired to be able to use digital technologies and help their students acclimate to those technologies as well. I became alerted to a project for the Chief Academic Officers Association. They had secured a grant underneath of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the concept was to try and choose a digital learning technology that you wanted to implement, and then document all of the challenges, the successes, the failures, so that they could be logged inside of a courseware called Courseware in Context. In choosing a courseware, we wanted to make sure that that particular courseware had some general requirements. They had to be SCORM compliant, they had to be LTI compliant, and IMS Global Learning Standard compliant. And so we chose McGraw-Hill's Connect. And one of the reasons for that is because one of our missions was to try and scale the project, meaning that we had to use this technology across many disciplines. And you can imagine from a student's perspective, you have gen ed requirements as well as your major requirements. And if you are being asked to learn how to use a different digital learning tool every single time you take a different course, it's like starting all over again. So we were hoping that we could choose a technology that spanned many disciplines, so that the student would have more of a ubiquitous learning experience, as well as for the faculty. With this digital learning platform in Connect, the reading assignments had questions, formative questions that were associated with it that would then produce reports. So if we assigned these reading assignments before the class started, the students would earn their points. They would have self-help features at the same time. And then as an instructor, I could run something like a missed questions report, which would tell me the most frequently missed questions or the most challenging learning outcomes that my students faced during that assignment. I could really focus and target the information that my students struggled with the most, which again made the students feel very comfortable because they didn't feel like they were the only one who struggled with that content. So it provided a much more meaningful learning environment. A lot of people would describe it as flipping the classroom, but I just basically say we're targeting the information that our students need to know before they take their big summative assessment like a midterm or a final. All of us as educators put our students first. Their success is the reason why we teach. So if you can show an educator that, hey, if you're a student learning a topic for the very first time and you're not getting feedback until a week or 2 weeks later and you've already moved on to another chapter's worth of information, then how valuable is that feedback? But in the learning moment, if a student is capable of finding out where they're making their mistakes as they're learning, with check my work, with hints, with direction back to alternate reading sources or learning animations or tutorials that are created for the student whenever they don't understand it, you're giving that student a better chance to succeed and achieve their dreams. So I think if you can show that to an educator, that those things actually make a difference, and believe me, they do. I've been collecting this data for almost 11 years now, and my students are achieving between 13 and 17% higher grades whenever they have access to these types of learning technologies. It makes the difference between failing and succeeding.